Hey Virgo, what's going on? We are here with your reading for mid-June. Welcome. Starting off with Four of Swords and Judgment. You can feel like you need some time to think about something here, but you can feel that you need to ground or you need to recharge in order to do this. So it can be like, before I look into this, I need to do something for myself. Like I need to relax for the day, or I need to have an easy morning today. It can be something like that. Like before I really look into it, because judgment is about analyzing something, reflecting on something. It can be a choice that needs to be made. So it's going to be about understanding something more deeply, but you need to make sure that in order to function at your highest capabilities, that first you fully charge up. So this all feels like a mental thing, you know, like if your phone is at 1%, it's gonna last you a second and not really be able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So it's like that being the metaphor for your mental faculties here. So Four of Swords is like, first and foremost, charging has to happen, or recharging has to happen, or nourishing has to happen, you know, for whatever you're going to be doing, making sure that you have replenished. And then Judgment feels like, what I'm then going to be using this for. Like, what am I trying to accomplish here? What am I trying to do? That sort of thing. I feel like there's something that you're going to be making a decision about. With this Judgment card, I feel like you're at the head of something and everybody's eyes could be on you here with this, but you have to be like the wise one in this situation. And I feel other energies being dependent on you, and you need to make sure that you're in the spot to do this. Because I feel like this position of, I have something to do here, I have a role to play, like I have a job, something like that. And you need to make sure that you're in the best place to be able to do that. Yeah, I'm getting this vibe of you, like maybe taking care of others or being in charge of others, something like that. I feel like this is something that's connected with the sacrifice of some sort. At times, that doesn't have to be all of what this is about, but it feels like there's a responsibility that you have playing this role. Seeing you're dealing with something here too. Are you not the only one affected by this? I feel like something is going on, but I'm seeing almost like no one really be at your level, not in an ego type of way. This is like, I'm the only one that plays this particular part or this particular role, and I have these other energies that are like looking to me, dependent on me in some way. And it feels like collectively there's something that you're going through with you and whoever's involved in this. So it can be something like, this is just an example, okay, just to understand what I'm seeing with the energy. Let's say that you're a parent and it's just you doing something, and you have like these children or like younger beings that are like looking to you to decide certain things or to figure something out here or to make a call about something. And it feels like something is going on that could be difficult for you, but you still have to show up and do this thing that you're doing. And I wonder if this is this thing that's going on, does this impact everybody? But you have to be the one with the level head going through this situation. I'm also seeing Three of Swords, which can bring up things where it's like, I'm sensitive about these certain things, or I feel insecure about these certain things, or I'm trying to get validation in these certain ways, and I feel like I'm not getting that. Like having Three of Swords come up can be like, I was looking to show up and be appreciated for this specific thing that I'm showing up doing, and I feel like I'm not getting that. So that can also be something that's going on too. I get this feeling of being like, disappointed about something or being sad about something and then feeling like hurt also. So it can even feel like that's happening on top of it, where it's like, this is bringing something up for me that I already feel sensitive about, or that I already am like trying to work through, or I already have a problem with this thing. So it can be something that's like emphasizing something painful here for you. Let's actually get into specifics here. Ooh. Looks like this happened with a relationship. Somebody you're connected with. Could have felt like someone didn't show up in the way that you thought they were going to, or the way that you hoped they were going to, something like that. What's this Five of Cups about? You may have gotten in a fight with somebody, a fight, a confrontation, altercation, something verbally that happened, but there could have been tension that was involved. Like a real, like not agreeing. I'm seeing like a butting of heads even here. Okay. So what I'm seeing happen is that something went down, right? It seems like a conflict between you and another person. It's like at first there can be this feeling of like, why did it have to happen like that? Or why is this happening? Or like, I didn't think that this was gonna happen. It can be like that type of thing where it's like, what I thought was ideal in this situation, those like requirements were not met, and so I'm left feeling like there's an offset here that I have to recover from emotionally. Then jumping to Three of Swords feels like, and now, more than just being disappointed, I feel like something happened that is like either bringing up a wound for me, or like it's something that I'm already insecure about, or something that I'm already working on, or something that I already know is a problem, and or creating a new one. So it's like it's either bringing up an old wound or it's creating a new one. Maybe it's both of those things. And then I'm seeing Five of Swords, which is that part of you that's like, and now the part of me that's going to protect me so I don't get further damage going through this is going to come up. And so you can feel like you have to completely shut your heart space down so you don't get impacted anymore, so you don't get hurt anymore. But it's like this maybe heartless part of yourself. I'm saying heartless, like not all totally heartless, but you can feel like, you know, when something just switches and you're like, I have to bring out that part of me that will protect me in this type of situation. But you can feel like you do things that when you don't have that armor on anymore, you look back and feel like you were like sort of possessed by this part of yourself that may be kind of ruthless, you know, like that type of thing. But it happened because of what was going on. Like it's all just a reaction to what was happening, where you could have felt like you got pushed to your limits and you're like, I can't keep my heart open and still deal with this. It's just too painful. And so then it's like you snap into that like other part of yourself. And again, like you could feel like it's a kind of ruthless part of yourself that you snap into, but it's there to protect you. Like it's just doing its thing here. Like that's why it's showing up, is to keep you safe in a way, or like not let any more damage happen. But it can be kind of like an offensive energy, like you being on the offense then, you know? You could feel like somebody wanted to spar with you in this way too, like they were asking for it, I almost get from this. I'm not saying whether they were or they weren't. I'm saying that's the interpretation of the energy. Like, so from your perspective, you could be like, they want to come through and hit me where I'm sensitive. Like, I'll be ready to fight and like do it in a way more severe way, you know? So I get like this, like, now we're going to fight with one another, like that type of thing that's popping up here. But this will feel like it's coming from a really wounded place. So you wouldn't feel like, I'm really grounded going through this process and making these like really solid moves here. This would be something that can feel like very just reactive, you know, and just like thinking of things to do and then doing those things, or like saying whatever. It can be like that type of thing. Because you can feel too, like in this moment, again, like if this is an interpersonal thing, you can feel like, hold on, something else is coming through. I feel like the way that I'm seeing this happen, it almost seems like this took place after you having time to reflect on things, but now it feels like something took place first that created this whole scenario, and you could now be in a space where you're like, I'm trying to do what I need for my peace of mind right now so I can properly look at this situation. I feel really upset that this happened in the first place. I'm seeing how painful it was. And you can also then, in retrospect, be recognizing this part of yourself that came out because you were feeling very triggered. So this can be something where you're like, I can't see that part of myself until I take a step back. And I can't take a step back unless I'm grounded and present. So that's what I'm seeing be here. Feels like things escalated quickly also. That can be part of this too. Like things happen very, very fast. Expectations, values, needs. Feels like this is going into a place where that stuff is being reflected on, because you could feel like in a relationship, I have these certain things that are important to me, and when my partner doesn't show up in that way, I don't feel valued, like I don't feel important, like I don't feel loved. It can be like that type of thing. So there can be an assessment now of like what do I need, and what are my expectations, and what are my values, like what do I need from somebody that I have a relationship with. What do I need in order to feel like I'm being treated with love and respect and whatever else. Also too, what do I need to psychologically feel safe? Because now you can feel like you have to make a decision about the future and where things are going to. Maybe you also felt like you needed to get away for a minute. Having 8 of Wands and 3 of Wands can be like moving very far away from this. But it can also be about how like things happen very quickly, and like a lot of ground is covered in a short period of time, but like lengths and distances that one goes to. Yeah, I am seeing that what this was that happened, like you had certain expectations of how something was going to happen. The situation happened in a way that did not meet that expectation, and it could have felt like too much. Like you could have felt like, I'm feeling so sad about this, or so disappointed, or so upset that it's too much. And now this part of me is going to come out. So it feels like the emotions got too overwhelming, because you could have had like really high hopes, or maybe you didn't even think that they were high hopes. Maybe you felt like these are normal hopes to be having, and the sadness got to be too much, or the disappointment got to be too much, that then it ended up leaving a mark on me. And now there's this part of me that's going to come out because of that. You could be something about like the future can be feeling like you have your hands full. There can be something that feels overwhelming about that. About what you see as possibly going to happen or where you imagine you're going. How is this? So now I'm seeing Empress and Ten of Cups. Empress is about what empowers you and what allows you to feel connected with yourself, and also has to do with things that are like self-worth, like that type of stuff. For the sake of this reading, for the context of this, you could feel like somebody did something to like ruin a happy moment, even because Five of Swords and Ten of Cups can be like I want to be having this really like nice happy moment here, and Five of Swords can be somebody doing something where it's like, oh, I thought we were gonna like be arguing in this moment or like fighting in this moment, like I thought we were gonna be enemies in this moment, not like in a happy relationship. It can be that type of thing that feels like that's what ended up happening, but it's because of stuff that's already been going on too. I'm seeing, just to know that this didn't come from nowhere. It feels like it's stuff that's been happening, where I think that somebody just got to their limit and reacted from being in that space, but in like kind of more or less a severe way, like of really turning into that energy and really shutting down in the heart space and being like, this other part of me is going to be the one interacting with you today. But can be like kind of a cruel energy sometimes, or just one where it's like, this is about like who wins and who loses within this situation, you know, that type of thing, where it's like coming into a very black and white space with you and another person and being like, at any cost, I gotta come out on top because I can't get hurt again, like that type of thing. And you know, it's like soothing to the ego to feel like you one-upped somebody, like that type of thing. Because Five of Swords is motivated by the ego, and the ego's main goal is just to keep you safe and to protect you. Keep you alive. Even if that means not allowing you to evolve spiritually, you know, like that type of thing. So they can kind of be forces that aren't, because they're not motivated by the same thing, can work in different ways. Like they have different objectives. Once you have time to recharge, you're going to be able to make progress and do so quickly. You're going to be spending time thinking about what is like the end goal here. Where are you going? What's going to be happening? What is the future going to be looking like? So it's like looking into that, tuning into that, like realistically, what's actually going to be taking place. As this is happening, you can also feel like you're processing a really heavy sadness, a really heavy disappointment, a really heavy, like, how I'm having a hard time accepting what's going on right now, like that. And you can feel almost like you're at the point where you could be like, I don't know if I can really take this anymore because I feel so affected by it and I'm having such a hard time processing it. Three of Swords and the Empress can feel like something happened where if you know what empowers you in a situation and what feels like reciprocity, the opposite of that could have happened, and you can feel like there's this part of you that's interpersonally involved and also involved with your values, and you feel like a deep wound has impacted you now, that part of yourself. So you can be like, I feel like the best parts of me have now been impacted by this. But this can also say too that Three of Swords and the Empress can be like this is an opportunity for me to heal something that has to do with a lack of self-worth that I feel. This can help me get more familiar to understand better my values and what I need to feel empowered with in a relationship, by learning through a situation that can feel like the opposite of that, but it's really going to tell you something important here. And then having Five of Swords and Ten of Cups can be like, things could be happy, but I'm in a part of myself that's disconnected from that emotionally. And now I sort of just am feeling this part of myself that's like, how can I win in this situation? So it can be something where it's like, I could notice that things could be all right and we could move through it, but there's also this part of me too that I think that I'm going to find happiness in getting my revenge on this person. You know, it can be like that type of thing. So you can be in that space where that's also something that's coming up too, because Five of Swords and Ten of Cups is about how like something mentally is going to have to shift, and there's going to have to be a growing and evolving with the way that we're looking at this, the way that we're understanding it, in order to actually feel a sense of peace and happiness with things. So it's like taking care of the mental health aspect of this in order to connect back with the heart space, because that is possible, but there are only certain ways that you're going to get there. And doing something now that's going to be like backed by your ego, feeling like I've now one-upped this person, it's not going to lead to the Ten of Cups. So it's like squaring away that equation and really thinking about your intention here and what that's going to lead to. Because I do, with Five of Swords and Ten of Cups, feel like this energy of, you know, like your ego telling you, like, if you do this thing to that person over here, you're going to be so happy, like that'll make things better. And then like that happens and you're like, I don't feel any better, and I also hurt that person now. It can be like that type of thing. Having Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck feels like this encouragement that like something can potentially be worked out if you're willing to cooperate, but that it's going to take everybody to work together in order for this to happen. Okay? I'm seeing Pluto and Venus be the energies here, and this can mean that there's something very disruptive, like a huge shakeup that's happening within an interpersonal relationship that you have, and can really shake up your self-esteem, but it's really going to bring to light for you like core values that you may have not been realizing before. But it's an opportunity through something essentially painful to be able to grow and evolve through that process, where you come into a place where you feel empowered in a way that you weren't feeling before. All right, everybody, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.